Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Legacy in Bloom, the podcast. I have with me one of the most dynamic community builders that I have met in my lifetime. With me, none other than the Jane of all trades, also known as Cheri Green, the Vice President of Community Business Development. I am so excited to have you here with me.
So excited to be here. What an honor.
Oh,
Thank you, sis.
You are welcome, sis. We're gonna have a good time. So first of all, you are a ray of sunshine.
So are you.
You're a ray, and I have been so excited to have you here on the podcast because your energy and your spirit reflects the energy that I want my guests to be able to feel through the screen, or and because you juggle so much. Like, you are a business professional. You're a leader in the business and financing space. You're a mother. You're a fiance, darling. Fiance. You're a community builder. And everything that you do it's what legacy is about. Because people will remember you when they go about, like, later on in life. I remember the impact that she had in life. So that's why you're here, okay? If you didn't know that's why you were here, that's why you're here.
I'm honored. And, hearing all those accolades, I'm like, who's she talking about?
I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you.
What an honor.
Yeah.
Thank you, sister.
But it's important, like in your sister circles, that we make sure that we're surrounded about people who are about something. And
Absolutely.
Even in our journey of all of us, like I tell people all the time, we out here trying to figure it out, one day at a time. But it's important that we cultivate these sister circles of people that, have that background that you have in finance and business and, being versatile in life. Okay.
Multi-talented.
As
I call it.
Multi-talented. But I want to hear more about, I'm a big advocate for journey. Like, what's, our journey and your journey, and if we embrace the lessons that we've learned, from life. So in your journey, as a financing leader, a woman in that space, what has that journey been like for you, and like, what have you learned from those lessons?
That's a really great question. I think for me, I'll talk about where I started.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here for it.
So when I graduated from college, I moved to DC. Just to find a job, because I was like, I don't know what to do. I have all these talents.
Trying to figure it out, right?
Yeah. Like, what am I going to do? And I ran into one of my sorority sisters who happened to work at a bank. And she said, girl, you got to have a resume. You looking for a job? Let me see it. She looks at my resume and she said, you would be a fabulous banker. And I'm thinking in my head, girl, I don't even know what a banker is. Okay.
Yeah.
No clue.
What is a banker?
Right. I'm like, a banker? Okay. Well, I do a little research and discover, I guess that would be kind of cool, because I always thought I would help people, just never thought I would help people in finance. Mm-hmm. Well, fast forward, that was 16 years ago. I'm still in finance.
Yes, you are. 16 years.
16 years, 15 years here in Houston. I worked for a bank in D.C. and then packed my things and moved back to Texas. But I started off as a banker. Actually managed a few branches here in Houston. I opened a new build branch as well. And during the pandemic, there was this like new role that came out that was like, oh, you can do things that actively support the community. And I was like, oh, that's right up my alley. Yeah. Again, I'm multi-talented. At least I think I am.
Yes. No, you are.
So where I'm trying to, be a resource for my community, this was another element of my career that I can actually do that. So that's kind of how I got started. What I did not anticipate was, the blessings that came from it.
Okay,
I met my fiance and doing events out in the community. I've met some incredible people like Jermisha.
Oh, girl, you just...
No, listen.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how we would have met had I not just...
Absolutely.
been pounding the pavement, doing what I do. So I'm really grateful that this journey has afforded me the opportunity to meet incredible people, specifically incredible women like you.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I love to hear that. And especially because we have to step out sometime. Like, so much in life, especially as women, we're putting our head down and we're just grinding. And I know for myself, it was a big time in my career where I was just working. And then you look up and you're like, the world is passing me by. So as a woman that is, that woman that was myself, early into my career when my head is down, I'm just working. I'm trying to figure out, how to, make an impact in my career. What advice would you kind of give that person that's trying to take a balance between community building, creating a legacy for their self, and also, focusing on their career?
Man, I think one thing I heard people say, and I felt like it wasn't the best advice, was they always said, oh, you need to find balance.
Oh, girl, I hate that balance word. Y'all know I hate it.
Listen, there's no such thing. I think the most important part is two parts of it. One, show up as your authentic self. That's where I found to be, in my opinion, my most successful, is when I stopped being this textbook version of what corporate America is looking for and showing up in my pink outfits with my, bedazzled heels and, my really flashy earrings and my super, super curly hair or my braids. I showed up being myself. That's one, because people are going to naturally gravitate to who you are.
So you're telling me that you can be in corporate and show up as your authentic self, and you don't have to be this corporate bland person? Are you telling me
you don't have to wear I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wearing the gray suits and, buttoned up into tea. Like, this is probably something I would wear to the office, because this makes me feel good. I'm showing up the best way I feel, if I feel really good, I'm going to show up. But that was one thing, right? Showing up as myself changed my career, in my opinion. I think the second part is prioritizing harmony. And someone said this on a podcast. I think I heard it wasn't Legacy.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're new.
But I heard someone say, look for harmony. Because I think balance is this facade that everything is going to be, you're going to be 80% in all areas, across the board. No, there's days where the house is a complete wreck.
Girl, in shambles, okay?
Right? The car is a mess. And then there's days where everything is in order. Everything's orderly. I'm killing it at work. My daughter has all A's. We packed 2 days before vacation.
Yes.
Oh, actually, that never happened.
Well, I'm lying. 2 days before vacation.
2 hours.
Okay.
2 hours.
Yes. Okay. That's more like it.
But I think where we can be the most impactful is to give ourselves grace. Yes. Where we write down a to-do list every day of all the tasks we have, looking at that calendar in the morning and saying, oh, man, I have 3 events. I have this. I have that. What can I master today?
Yeah.
And then just go to bed. My therapist is teaching me this. Go to bed feeling completely content that you gave it your best if you know you really did. Now, if you didn't, because there's some days where I go to bed, I'm like, man, I did not.
You really
give it
did.
the best.
Okay. Keyword.
There's some days where I go to work and I'm like, I can't get with it today. I just can't get it together. And I'm like, I'm going to go home and start over. That's okay too. But, giving ourselves some grace, focus on harmony, not balance.
Harmony, not balance.
And show up as yourself.
Yeah.
I said 2 things. That was 3.
That was 3. But no, they were 3 powerful things, especially with the balance. And what I say about balance all the time, I hate it. I hate that work-life balance has been what it's been, that we focus so much on work-life balance, because I think balance is a moving goalpost. Like,
absolutely.
What is balance? Like, it's constantly changing. Every time we think that we figured out, like, oh, if I get a nanny, I'm going to have balance. Then you get a nanny and you realize, okay, the kids need me. Okay, now the goalpost is moved. Like, oh, if I do this, okay, it's constantly changing.
And I think as it's like an unexpected expectation that life is going to look the same every single day, every single week.
And we know.
And maybe for some people that's the case.
For some people,
I don't know many people that's the case. Like, you get up every morning. What is that called? It was like a movie where life was the same.
Yeah, it was. They would wake up. It's like a Jim 51st date. So it was something like that. Yeah, something like that.
I've never seen life like that. Even when I had, we had to get open at a certain time and close at a set time. I had to make sure I had my daughter picked up by this certain time. We went to this practice on Tuesdays and this practice on Thursdays. No, it's complete chaos. Like, Monday, okay, I'm doing this. This week alone, I have 7 events.
Ooh.
And I'm like, okay, I have 7 events. I just got back from a vacation, a little quick vacation. We literally flew back in Sunday night. Monday morning, I'm in the office 8:30, ready to rock and roll, taking calls, taking meetings, responding to people, and preparing for all the speaking engagements, all the workshops I have, all the
Oh my
events I have
gosh.
this week. I'm volunteering at a festival this weekend. I have 2 birthday parties this weekend. And then Sunday, we have the nerve to say we're going to go and take the kids somewhere on Sunday. I'm like, I think we're going to be
Okay.
on the couch Sunday.
Okay, I'm tired. Listen,
yeah,
I'm tired.
listen.
Listen to you, okay?
And
I am
we
so
talk
tired.
about balance. There's no way you can balance having 7 events, 2 kids, a fiance, planning a wedding, a full-time job that, doesn't cut off at 5 p.m. and still drinking your water and minding your business.
So I gotta ask, because you done laid out a whole lot. Like, you have laid out a lot. I'm over here like, okay, you just said this. We planning a wedding. You got kids. Building your blended family together and all the responsibilities and activities. How do you maintain your sanity? Okay,
Oh, man.
in the midst of all of this, and not even finding balance and all that. Like, how do you just maintain just your sanity in the midst of this?
I don't. I'm going crazy.
True that.
One thing I do, there's a few things I do.
Okay.
I get up in the morning and I don't get out the bed. I don't pick up my phone.
Okay.
I'll hit snooze,
Okay.
but I don't even look at the phone when I first wake up. I'll lay there and close my eyes. And that's my way of first being grateful that I'm back up. I have another chance, another day. And I am trying to make myself present for that day, because
Yes.
I'm a perfectionist to a degree. I'll beat myself up about the things
love
I didn't
that.
do the previous day, and I'm like, no, you did fine. You're gonna do great today. This is what you're gonna accomplish, and God's gonna guide you through all of that. That's the first thing that helps me. If I jump out the bed because I'm like running late or I overslept, because let's not act like that doesn't happen to
Okay,
us. It
'cause it
does.
does.
The alarm didn't go off, whatever. I feel really hectic throughout the day, and I feel like I can't pick up, I can't regain my breath, throughout the day. So I try to ease into the day. That's one. The second thing is I do go to therapy very frequently, twice a month.
Okay.
And that's me time.
So there's nothing wrong with therapy, right, Black folks?
Well, actually, I have three. I'm sorry, I have 3.
Okay.
And I make an appointment with myself. Now, I
Ooh,
don't do
can
it
I
every
hear-
day, and if my fiance was watching this, he'll be laughing because he's like, you're not consistent. But working
Tell me
out,
about this.
make an appointment with myself, I work out. Now, it doesn't always mean I'm lifting heavy weights or whatever. Some days it's Pilates. Some days it's yoga. Some days it's getting up and jogging. I would love to do that more often. I can hear my fiance laughing right now when I'm saying this. But I'm saying that to say there's some element of pouring back into me that I do almost every day. You have to do that, because especially in my line of work, you're pouring into the world. And my phone doesn't ring for how can we help Cheri? It's Cheri, how can you help me? So after a day worth of meeting people's needs and helping other people, I'm like, how did I help myself?
So I'm sure that maybe hasn't always been a thing.
No.
Yeah. Can you, how has, from the moment that you transitioned to prioritizing yourself, and that's what it sounds like, you taking a moment like, I'm prioritizing Cheri. What have you seen change in your life?
Honestly, can I tell you about when it happened?
Tell me. I want to know about it.
My father, in 2021, went into a coma. He collapsed, went into a
sorry to hear
coma,
that.
and he passed away 2 days later.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
And prior to that, I was always working out, always, all of that. But after he passed away, it's like I completely stopped working out. I wasn't going to therapy. I was just, whatever was coming my way, I was taking it. And
As it was coming,
it
like
was
what's
showing
coming.
up. It was showing up in how I was, engaging with people, how I was showing up for myself. It showed up in my weight. It showed up in, my interactions. And I had a really good friend of mine who he lost both of his parents, and he said, I see what you're doing. And, I'm like, I already know what he's going to say. Yeah, I know. But he's like, self-sabotage.
Oh,
Don't
wow.
do it. Like, take care of yourself. Because it's so easy to blame yourself for the situation, which I have, to grieve but move forward as if you're not grieving, go to therapy, take care of yourself, do the things that you need to do to take care of you. And I don't think I've ever told him. I guess I'll call him after this.
Gotta
say, you
do
know
it,
what?
please.
You were
Please
such
do.
a great friend for being honest with me and telling me that and being vulnerable. And I think that's a part in our community too, that we face a lot of trauma. And instead of tackling the trauma, we replace it with other things. We get really busy, or we drink, or we party, whatever we do. We pick up the bad habits, and we don't replace that trauma with positive things that help us heal.
Yeah.
So,
oh wow.
And let me tell you, I'm still on that journey.
Ooh.
I'm still on that journey. I'm not 100% there. Like, there's times where I have panic attacks, full on panic attacks, thinking about that time period. Or there's periods where I'm like, I don't want to work out at all. Nope. I don't feel like doing that. And I'm not.
Yeah.
I want to eat chicken wings on Friday, and on Fridays was wing days,
Yes.
But I thought about this, like, what does Cheri in 20 years look like? And does she look like the woman that's still making bad decisions and blaming it on her trauma? Or is she healthy? Is she, not perfect, but striving from a floor of excellence?
Yeah.
I'm not surviving.
Yeah. I want.
We are not a generation
No.
of survivors.
No, we're
Our
not.
ancestors survived for
Yes.
us. We're here to thrive.
We're here to thrive.
So, baby, we're thriving.
Let me tell you, the spirit of thrivation.
Oh,
Okay, it's in this room. Okay, we
Period.
are thriving. We are not surviving. We are thriving for legacy,
We are
and
thriving.
legacy. But I'm glad that I had a conversation with one of my friends about self-sabotaging.
yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, just because I'm here and I feel like I'm in a safe space.
Yeah.
I was pushing out legacy and bloom. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it later. I'm keep pushing it back. And they were like, hey, Misha, why are you pushing it back? Like, everybody is waiting on it. We're excited about it. She was just like, I feel like you're self-sabotaging.
Wow. I do that. I still do that.
And it's so, and
I'm doing that.
we do that. And
Yeah.
that's when you said that, my eyes just lit up, because I don't think it's the fact that you do it, I do it. And our sister circles, they do it. And it's one of those things that we are excelling in our careers. And if you look at us, it looks like we're excelling in life and everything that we're going on, but we still do things to self-sabotage the purpose that I feel as if God has for us.
Absolutely.
And it's in store for us. So you gave me some
It's almost
tips
like we're being
on
disobedient.
ooh.
I heard that. I heard the
Ooh.
word obedience at the very beginning of this year.
Yes,
black
yes,
people,
yeah.
we have to have
We
a
gotta have
word.
a word for the year.
Word for my baby.
Yes.
My word for the year is my word for the year was obedience.
Was obedient.
And I've been continuously asking God, what does obedience look like? Because I feel like I'm being obedient. I pray.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a decent person.
Yes.
But it started to show up in small things.
In small things.
My daily habits, how I showed up for my family, how I showed up for me. Because, man,
How you show up for yourself.
this is the temple.
Yeah. And
You
if
know?
your temple is not right, how can you give to the world? And in what you do in community building and you're doing with your life, like, you have a life, you're a mother, you're a wife, in essence, like, you have to be able to make sure that your temple is full to be able to pour. So I want to know what's in store for Cheri. Like, what does Cheri's legacy, look like? Because I see you building community, but you're giving all the time. So what's in store for you? What's on the
I'm
horizon?
laughing because I don't know.
That's real. Like, sometimes we don't know.
I think I don't know because let me just first say thank you. Because your transparency around your disobedience to bringing this to life, your acknowledgement of that and actually bringing it to life, it's inspiring to me.
Oh, thanks.
It's inspiring me to leave here today knowing I got to do my taxes.
Girl, work on
Lord
you.
Jesus, help me.
Ooh.
But also carving out some time, putting it on the calendar where I'm building what I want to do next. And there's a lot of things I want to do next, y'all.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, I talked about my tennis social club.
Social club on the way.
On the way.
This is speaking into existence, by the way. Okay.
Yes.
This is your accountability zone. Okay.
Really, like being more present on social media. Can I tell you a story?
Please do.
I'm a storyteller.
Okay,
I'm not really that great at telling stories, but I'm still a storyteller, if that makes any sense.
Yes, it does.
So after my fiance and I announced that we were engaged, that was really exciting because it was like,
it was exciting for
a lot of people didn't know. Yeah, a lot of people didn't know we were together. But the part that was exciting wasn't necessarily the announcement. It was what happened after.
Okay.
Women, single moms across this entire city were just saying thank you. Like, you gave me hope.
Oh, wow.
That, I'm a single mom and I can find love and someone that's incredible. And I was like, you know what? I didn't think my love story would inspire people, but maybe that's something I can tell. So I don't know, I might write a book about
maybe you should
how we both really worked really hard. We still work very hard in the community in our respective roles and what we do, and still showed up for each other.
Yeah. And,
built this incredible life that, we're building now and planning our wedding. And our two girls are just inspired by, my 13-year-old's like, oh, I want to be in love. And I'm like, girl, please, you're 13.
Oh my gosh.
Focus on keeping those A's.
Focus on the A's.
Right.
But to know that she doesn't feel defeated, because people's parents' love stories cause trauma.
Yeah.
And what they've experienced.
Or they can teach you how they can show you what you want to become, show you what you want to achieve, show you what you want to attain. And, I'm trying my best not to speak from a mindset of lack and speak from a foundation of excellence.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is saying less about what's wrong and more about what's right. And I think it goes back to you, like you launching this podcast and us having this conversation even before now. It's inspiring me to take it up a notch just a little bit more.
Yeah.
So more to come.
It's more to come. But one thing talking about, like the self-sabotage is just ordering our steps.
Yes.
Like he's already ordered our steps for us. And what's the scripture say? Faith without works is dead.
Yep. Yep.
And so it's so much in store for you, and just, I know you'll be faithful in seeing it through, because just what you've created in your own, with your own nonprofit that you've created to empower, how has that impacted your life, your children's life, and what you have to come?
So I have two girls. I have a daughter and I have a bonus daughter. And it's important for me to have a really intentional relationship with them. Before it was just me and my daughter, Jayla, it was just the two of us. So we spent a lot of time together.
I bet you did.
And she's still watching me grow up, but she's watched me grow up. She's watched me make mistakes. She's watched me get it right. And I'm like, you know what? I want to spend these years showing her that I'm going to get it right. And my best friend, she started an app called Passport Journeys. Okay. And Passport Journeys is a teletherapy app that helps mother and daughter pairs get access to therapy. It helps them create intentional bonds. And so through that, we understood that a lot of parents, a lot of mothers, a lot of daughters may have not been able to afford access to therapy because it's a fee, right? But through Mom and Me, which is our nonprofit, we're able to provide free therapy to mothers and daughters. And that's like, it hits home for me, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm so
amazing.
intentional with my daughter. And I think a lot of goodness in women flourishes from a positive relationship with your mother.
Absolutely it does.
So it gives me that opportunity to pour back into women that I know I have the luxury, because it's a luxury, to pour back into my daughter.
Yeah, therapy is a luxury. Healing is a luxury. All of those things are a luxury.
Look, this turned into a therapy.
It did though, but in the pursuit of being a high achieving woman, be able to be a mother that's nurturing and loving, that's be able to go out and support the community in the way that you do, we have to be whole and we have to be healed.
Yep.
And so everything where the conversation has transitioned to is where it naturally and organically should have, and it's just making sure that we are showing up, being present for ourselves. Let me tell you, I'm gonna make a date with Jermisha. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if it's gonna be at the gym. Maybe it's gonna be around the park. I'm gonna walk the street, but it's
Whatever
gonna
it
be
is.
a appointment with me, and that time to reflect, to make myself better.
My
And-
fiance says something all the time. I feel like I keep
Come on,
mentioning him.
Come
I
on,
love
Derek.
him so
what
much.
what Derek say? I want to know. What did
He
he
is
say?
so, like, the way y'all see him in, like, out, that's how he is at home.
Oh, okay.
He is very, like, I'm just going to say this.
Yes.
He says this to us all the time. He says, we are capable of doing hard things. And I hear his voice when I'm working out. I hear his voice when I'm doing something at work that seems really difficult or challenging, or I'm having a conversation that's really uncomfortable. And that's when I have my appointments with myself. A lot of it is me showing up, trying to be disciplined, doing things that I don't want to do.
Okay.
So I hear that voice and I'm like, okay, I'm capable of doing hard things. Yeah, whatever. But I get to the end of it and I'm like, man, that felt so good.
It felt good.
It felt good. He made us run 2 miles when we were in Miami this weekend.
Oh.
And let me tell you,
Everybody have somebody that's meant for them.
I didn't listen. I did not want to run.
I'll be like, I'm gonna watch you. I'm gonna
And there were parts of that run where I did. I
Ooh.
watched and he was like, come on. I'm just like, I kept hearing you can do hard things. And sometimes the appointment with yourself includes other people.
Yeah.
Because other people need to see how you are working towards excellence, how you're building towards excellence. Sometimes it's just a battle with yourself. Sometimes it's just, you know what, I need a break. It doesn't always have to be an exercise. It doesn't always have to be something physical. It could be a cocktail.
Yep.
But you have to make an appointment with yourself.
I'm gonna make a point with myself. Some of it's gonna be a cocktail, okay. Some of it is gonna be, self-healing. Some of it's gonna be working out, because I do feel like that is something I need to do for myself. But it's also gonna be making sure that I maintain my spirit in my community and make sure that the people around me are about healing and about support and about love. So Cheri, if you could leave one inspirational, or let us know one thing that you want to leave the viewers with Legacy and Bloom, like something on your spirit, on your heart, what would that be?
When I think about Legacy and Bloom, I think about a generation of people like us who are setting a new standard for our kids.
Yes, I love that.
And I think about how this video, when it comes out, it'll be something our kids will forever get a chance to see. I think about generational wealth. I think about wholeness. I think about healing. I think about trusting ourselves. I think about blessings. So hopefully the women or men that are watching this, Legacy and Bloom, you're watching this because you're thinking about how to leverage what you're currently doing that will live beyond you. What are we doing today that's going to live beyond us? And it's bigger than money, right?
Yeah, it is.
Our kids are going to inherit generational trauma or generational success, generational blessings. We determine that. Yeah. And our voice is the voice they have in their head when they show up, when they show out, when they're at school, when they grow up, when they become young women and young men. So when I think about Legacy and Bloom, we are setting the standard of what legacy means, because it's new for this generation. It will never look the way it looks now. And I don't know, I think this next generation of leaders that we are raising are going to blow us away, because I think we blow our ancestors away.
I think we do.
Like I told you, they existed to survive so we can come here and thrive. I think they're going to take it up a notch. So I don't know if that answers it, but
no.
Cheer. If I had a glass, I would cheer
Cheers. Yes.
to
yes.
building legacies that extend beyond us, and something that when we're long gone, we can hopefully from heaven look down and say, we're so proud.
We're so proud. And that's what Legacy and Bloom is about. It's about, knowing that the legacy is that we leave something behind, whether we want to or not. And so that could either be trauma, it could be lessons of excellence, it could be, wealth, but no matter what life that we live, our legacy, will be left behind. So I'm just so grateful that you were here today. You have blessed my spirit, and
you blessed mine.
Yes, just your support, but your transparency and your vulnerability.
Thank you.
Because, one thing that you were honest about is the authenticity and how important that is to be able to guide us into this next, transition of life. And so just being able to be and show up as who you are. And that's what I want for you to, I want you to show up for, everyone knows you in your banking capacity, but it's so much more to you. And I hope the world sees that. And let us know, how can we follow you? How can we support you? How can we do that?
So I am on social media, Instagram.
Okay.
I'm on TikTok too now.
Okay. I'm not, but the viewers, you can follow her on TikTok.
I only have a TikTok to monitor my daughter's TikTok,
Okay.
To see what she's posting and what she has going on there. But all the girlies post about weddings, so I'm like all things wedding on my TikTok. But Instagram, my handle is the same on both. On Instagram and TikTok, it's The Stylish Banker. But I post pretty much everything on the Instagram, The Stylish Banker page.
Okay.
Yep.
The Stylish Banker. Y'all heard it. Website
Follow me.
for
I'll follow back.
website.
I'm not one of those.
You're not
I don't
one of
follow
those?
you. No.
I try my best.
As long as I recognize the name in some facet or we have a mutual friend, I pretty much will follow back. Unless it's like one of those spam accounts. I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's a lot of those these days.
It's a whole lot on my page. I'm like, get away.
Yes. Well, follow Cheri Green on The Stylish Banker on Instagram. She'll follow you back, but follow along with her journey, her tennis social club that is on the way. Oh, yeah, y'all finna see me a cute little tennis skirts. Okay. Yes. Yes, I am ready for it, but I'm ready for the community more than anything. I thank you all for watching Legacy in Bloom. Make sure you click the link below to subscribe. We cannot wait you to add you to a part of our community. Until next time, cheers. We need a drink. Where's the drink?
Cheers.
The next time you come, I promise you.
Y'all hold her accountable. Tell
The
her
next
I'm
time.
coming back.
Yes.
Cheers. I know. Bye, guys.